What about there in YouTube Guitar Land? Music Man Iron coming at you, bringing you a little more Dave Matthews. We're gonna go over two step and try to break the song down for you, show you the chords. Now this song is strummed at a very uh, fast tempo, and I'm gonna slow it down and not necessarily play it at the full tempo that I played on the album or recordings that you're gonna listen to. You can kind of listen to it and add speed to it as you go, but I will give you the chords and whatnot, and you can go from there. We'll start with the intro. And we're going to be employing a lot of Dave Matthews and that's kind of the chords. This whole song could be referred to as Dave chords. And they're basically closed position chords. And you'll see them very frequently in a lot of his songs. But for the opening chord of the song, we're going to be all the way down on the 10th fret. You're going to be fretting the low E on the 10th fret and the G string on the 10th fret. So like this guy. And that guy's pinky. And then you're also going to be fretting the A string on the 8th fret, which is like this guy right here. And when you play those together, that D string is being muted. So basically you just have those three notes. And you get what I believe is a D minor chord. So, and again with the intro, you're going to be playing that with a very up-tempo kind of a rhythm, something along the lines of something along those lines. For the intro, you'll hear before it goes to the actual verse, you're going to be doing something along these lines. And what that basically is if you take that chord, that D minor chord, and you keep your pinky down on that G string 10th fret, and basically just use your pointing finger and get all the way over to the 6th fret on that low E. Keep the pinky down, a little bit of stretch, but and then move it from the 6th fret to the 8th fret, and then right back into that chord shape. So you have that. So that's basically the intro. Now again, you can go through it as many times as you want, but when you do kick off into the actual first verse, you're going to start with that D minor chord, and then we're going to play a bunch more Dave style chords. The first of which is going to be those two chords, and you're going to be starting on the 6th fret of the low E string. I'm going to use my middle finger to play that, and then I'm going to be playing the A string on the 5th fret with my pointing finger. And you're going to either use your pinky or your ring finger, and you're going to be playing the G string on the 7th fret. And you get a kind of a cool sound like that. And again, in this situation, the D string is again muted, so you just get those three notes. And again, this style of chord is very popular in Dave Matthews songs. Plays those position chords very frequently. But you go from your D minor chord to that shape, starting with your ring finger on the 6th fret. You're going to slide that exact shape down 2 whole frets, so the same shape, except now your ring finger is on the 8th fret, or your middle finger, excuse me, is on the low E 8th fret. Pointing finger is on the A string 7th fret, and your ring finger is on the 9th fret. G again, the D is being muted. So you're going from the hey, my love. So just a real quick stop on that chord, just a couple quick strums, and slide that whole shape down 2 whole frets. So we're at. From there, you're going to go to the only, I think, actual normal chord in the song, the F bar chord. Then to that chord that we just played a second ago. This we'll call this, I believe it's a B flat chord, if you want to get scientific about the name. But it was that chord that we just played before we split it all the way down. So you're going from your F to that B flat chord. Those are the next couple chords, and what those are is you can take that same kind of, use your same 3 fingers if you want. You're just going to have to change the spacing of where the frets that they're on. But if you are playing the 5th fret low E with this finger, and then the A string 3rd fret, I got it, and G string 5th fret, I got it. And again, the D string, as always, is muted in these. And take that exact same position, now slide it down 2 whole frets, and that is that next part of that verse. So let's go back from the very beginning here. So we got. And then you'll hear, if you are familiar with the song, that from that part, and it's going to go right back up to that beginning D minor chord. And cycle through those same chords. The only difference is that the second time through, you get the last 2 measures of that sequence are kind of played twice. So I'll just kind of play through it and hopefully you get what I'm talking about here. So. And then you would, instead of going back to that D minor, you're going to go right back to that F chord and repeat that same sequence a second time before you go back to the D minor. And you're going to have to kind of listen to the song. You'll kind of hear what's going on with the lyrics. But the first time through the verse, you play through that part and you go right back to that D minor. The second time through, you're going to play that F, B flat, whatever that is sequence twice before you kick back to that D minor chord. So that's basically what the verses are. And I'll play through that whole section for you kind of at full speed here, just to give you an idea what that's going to sound like. So hopefully you saw in there that the difference basically is just that, like I said, those last 2 measures or bars or whatever of that sequence are repeated, starting with that F chord. And back to your D minor chord. Last part of the song would just be the chorus. And the chorus is going to employ, we're going to start with a F bar chord. And then we're going to go to, I think this is like a C, but again, it's that same shape, except now this time, the second chord of the verse, you're playing the low E on the 8th fret, A string 7th fret, and G string 9th fret. So you have, to celebrate we will, chords after the F to that C kind of chord to another very Dave style chord. I don't exactly know what chord this is, but you're fretting the third fret, low E, A string first fret, and then G string third fret. And that D is again muted. And then from there, we're repeating some of the same chords that we did earlier in the verse, but that shape where you have the 6th fret low E, A string 5th fret, and G string 7th fret. And kind of get up to speed of where we're at here. We're going to have the so celebrate, we will. Life is short and sweet. And you can see that right before it goes right back to the F chord, there's that real quick, and that's that same shape again, with your ring finger on the 6th fret, A string 5th fret, and G string 7th fret. And then you take that same shape and kind of slide it down, except change the spacing a little bit, and now you have the 5th fret, low E, 3rd fret, A string, and 5th fret, G, with that D being muted. So I apologize if this was confusing, but the chords for the chorus again now would be that F to whatever kind of C that is, to that so we'll celebrate, we will. And that's basically for the chorus, but at the very end of the chorus, before it goes back to that D minor chord, you'll hear the lyrics would be the things we cannot change. And that's basically stealing a little bit off of the verse. And that only happens at the end of the chorus. So you're doing that chorus thing with the F. And then you'll do a things we cannot back to your D minor. And you'll notice that those chords, that F to the whatever chord that is, you'll notice that sequence is the exact same sequence that we did at the end of the verse. So a lot of confusing with the structure of the song, the way the verse and the chorus and everything is laid out, but those are all the chords. You're going to have to listen through to the song to actually get the timing of where they all come in. And again, very common Dave Matthews style chords, very close position. Play them however it's comfortable for you in your hand. But that's basically the bulk of it. And I hope that's helpful. Again, I apologize if parts of this was confusing. It's kind of a tricky song, but stick with it, listen to the recording, and use those chords, and eventually you can get it. Hope that helps. Thanks, guys.